Greetings, time for my Seth broadcast. Brought to you by Quarantine Florida. As can't do much of it, anything here. And we'll see where things go with this place. So, alright, going to Astral Builder, Realities, Healing, and Earth Matrix Channeling. So, going to continue with Astral. Maybe go into the secret space program here and there, maybe not. Gartha, we'll see where things go on that. You know, just astral energies, where this place come from, go a bit further. And we're just kind of, flow with that, see where things go. We'll just mosey on to the unknown, see where it takes us. SimonTalk.com, private sessions, or not. Alright, calendar. We're at a channel, Google Hangout, Zoom channel by phone. It's recorded if you want it recorded, so it's private. I'm on the 9th for some people, and the month is almost over. And I'm on, that's not funny, and I have a nice plane flying over because we have an airport next door. I'm on the 14th. Also, trucking along, as you can see, same situation here. Other channels and heroes that recommend social network, awesomeness, and dating sites. Thank you for those that are. Thank you for your support. Let's just keep it simple. All right, it's Friday night. Next week is 4th of July, and just spend half stay at home, going nowhere. So it's all right. Okay, we'll see where we go with this. Just leave it open. Go into different realms. I'm not talking about the virus or anything, so just said my spiel and way YouTube's going. Eventually, it'll be RIP at YouTube one of these days. Way they're running things. So I think they kind of know that, but either way. So, alright, predictions or anything? Yeah, just, I think I said everything yesterday. So, alright, blessings, here we go. Greetings to you from Astral. Name is Dominique. Energy that's familiar to your planet. In Astral, we have energy signatures. They don't necessarily. Well, you can have as many names as you want. Some are so convoluted and long we don't even bother anymore. Just call you D or F or something like that. But yes, your planets, the architecture of your reality, your Illuminati energies. Realize also Illuminati energies, your drugs and all of these things, vices, hard drugs at least, is all a part of the Illuminati bloodline. Meaning that yes, it is their poison, of course, to keep Earth on an agenda. So of course they're going to introduce these things to seduce society. Yes, and find lower astral beings to put little pictures on them and all that to keep things. So you want to know where lower astral comes from? Yes, it comes from drugs, basically. Now, obviously, people are going to divulge in it and test things out. Nothing wrong with that, but some are dedicated to it. There's another reason why you have symbols on your food too. It's all part of your food, fast food, things like that. It's an agenda, as you know, from lower astral. So the symbols pull in, just like on a building, you have symbols. Well, the same thing. The golden arches is actually a Babylonian symbol. Yes, you don't have McDonald's there in Babylon, but in Astral you do. But in your reality, yes, you have all the indulgence of low vibrational indulgence. But yes, a McDonald's in your astral, yes. Of course, it's part of your Babylonian times in your ancient times. Of course, it's not the same thing as you have it today. It's been modernized quite well, and of course, not seen on your planet. But either way, it's a Babylonian symbol. Let's put it that way. It's not exactly to its same form. I think we could just walk ourselves into an unknown. We can't talk our way out of that one, can we? But either way, yes, there is no time, but there is time. So your planet, yes, is a fragment of many other planets put together of what they could not solve. Many of your teachers came here to cause a lot of havoc or to bring in to help you teach you what you need to learn. Some of them are criminals. Not all of them. But some of them are. Some need to learn from the criminals. And you have just like you have a dark teacher and a light teacher. Same thing. Saturn is basically keeping all of this going into the form you wish it to. Meaning they're part of your reality. Your symbolism that's normally not seen. They played this before. Saturn's been the same situation as your planet at one time. It's different, but I realize also as many, yes, parallel reality after parallel reality. And your world's been a sun, it's going to go back into a sun, it's going to do this, it's going to do that. All those things exist, of course. But it all comes down to a Babylonian, basically Babylon was a download, a setup for your modern reality. For you to, it's the architecture of it. There is Archon energies, yes, planted there. Archon energies, I believe this is mentioned before in the past. A lot of their technologies are taken from other planets and brought to yours. Meaning, yes, there is an Archon presence here, but sometimes they have technologies of theirs that brought here that they forgot about and use against your planet for various reasons. To create buildings, it alters your reality to allow certain things to occur, such as your tall buildings in your big cities. Yes, it's an Archon architecture that was to allow that timeline to come in from other realities, but also for the technologies to be found to build such structures. That was a long time in the works. Going vertical was not... It's basically so they can have more control of your planet, those that wish to. Some of you have spent your times in many of these buildings too that control your planet. You have dreams in them. There's different. Your Sears Tower is one of your powerful ones. There's much more to it than that. But your Sears Tower is one of your, or Willis Tower, whatever they call it these days. Well, they changed. They changed the name of it because it's under a different regime. It has a different agenda now, but still has the same kind of architecture of the old. It's just been upgraded, you can say, to an extent. One of these days, much of that will be all gone. And that's really the fragments of your new Earth, but not yet. And notice how you're taking down some of your statues. Will eventually be buildings too. Once you figure out what they're doing, you look at regular buildings, oh, that's okay, that's not a portal. That's not bringing in lower dimensional beings, not at all. Not sure as it is. Now you're taking down these statues now, but then eventually it'll be buildings. Maybe not in a third dimensional way, but eventually you'll find a way to do it. Why not? I mean, you want a world that's more peaceful, correct? Well, you have to remove a lot of the portals that bring in the unpeacefulness. And how does one do that? Well, that's up to you. First, you have to recognize that it's what it's doing. And it's kind of like, not exactly forcing your spirituality to awaken, but realize there is much more happening in front of you than you might realize. Yes, these big cities are portals, yes. Where everything is. How convenient. Your faster internet. Have indulgence, to bring in a better life. And to program you. Out in the woods, they can't do that. A tree is most likely not going to tell you what to do. But a building will. It'll tell you to get there at 9 and leave there at 5. Is it the boss that's running it, or the building running the boss? You'd be surprised. Is it the CEO running the company, or is it the company running the CEO? It's most likely that. It is a whole nother force. So how do you find all of these things? Well, as your spirituality upgrades, yes, many of you are, yes, connected to the new earth, and that's fine, but there's much more here. The architects that created this reality, you're going to see it from a different angle. You take that new earth energy to heal this one, to bring in a more positive reality. You can have these tall buildings, but just remove the portal from hell. You think your, what is it called, your Bermuda Triangle is a problem. Think again. And who do you think is controlling much of your governors of your states? It is the city it's running it. And who's running the city? A higher dimensional being. That's not very friendly. Well, it all depends. That's your Illuminati energy, basically. Yes, they run your people of power, of course. How do you think that unseen? Of course. So if you want to see your Illuminati energies, you have to go to Astral to see them. You can knock on somebody's door and say that they're a part of it, and yes, they are part of it in a third dimensional reality. But there's always a hierarchy somewhere else, and it's not in your physical. The main energy, and they don't care if you go and see them and say hi to them, all that, and ask, they don't care. But are you okay with that is another story. This reality is going to fall apart. Well, it kind of already is. Well, it's like you're at the end of your chapter. It's like you're all told to go home, go somewhere else. It's like the story is over. And so what's happening is some are getting kicked off the planet, things are getting moved around for the next chapter to come in, or the next novel to come in. It's more like that. The next stage. So of course, it's just like like theater. The stagehands are moving around. They clear it all out, put something new. That's exactly what's occurring right now. It's just it's on a planet. It is not something that you do lightly. On a stage, it's very small. There's only a few people, 10 people there. They all know each other's names. On a boil, it's a little bit different. We don't see many of you building a car at home as a heavy roll assembly line. No. Well, same thing with your planet. It has a lot of pieces here that you can only really see in the astral plane. Of course, you can see it in spirit too, but astral plane is a little bit easier. Because you get more of an idea of where things are going. Of course, in spirit, you see it's easier in astral, let's put it that way. Long story short. So yes, we see much of these big cities going away also. As you remove your nice statues, eventually you're going to remove the city itself. And after you do that, say, look, there's a giant portal here. Wow, how convenient. Wonder why they built a city over it. So as you become more aware of your planet, see, this is why you're not living out in the desert, because they can't control those desert portals. They can't put you in the Grand Canyon. Trust me, they would. But they can't control that. But they can control you where you are right now. Yeah, the desert is a funny place. It's not as powerful. Yeah, it's not. It's all over the place. I mean, once you start building in there, all kinds of other things come. As many of them that have been in your Sedona area and other places that are similar. They can go there and hide, because it's very hard to go there because it's hot. But they can technically build their cities there. You can take your whole civilization, put your New York City, put out in the desert somewhere. But it'll have a different effect. Because the portal energies are totally different. And you probably would have had your aliens here a lot sooner than later. As you'll be experiencing more of it. Instead, you're connecting more to the lower astral energies. Of ghost energies, of greed, whatever it might be that's keeping your third dimension in the third dimension. If you have a city as your New York City in your desert area, a lot of the third dimensional people will be like, I just had a conversation with an alien just for 5 hours today. It's just a different vibration. It is a lot lighter, and it's hard. Yeah, as I say, it's harder to control. At your military. Yes, they're building underground, of course, to hide themselves. But still, it's not going so great there either. Skywalker Ranch, another example of out of controlness. Of course, that's not in the desert, but it's close enough. So, it's just the way your planet is designed, or your cities are designed, is how to control your people. It was the portals that are just designed, made, created for it to control society. As it's doing an excellent job, but those days, as you can see, are coming to an end. It's inevitable, isn't it? How much you want to know about yourselves. And that's another thing of why some people are not liked by other people. It's true. Is that you go into your spiritual direction and awakening, and people are heckling you, don't like you, because you'd be surprised how much you know about them, and you don't even know it. What are they hiding? You'd be surprised. If you got nothing to hide, but you'd be surprised how many have so much to hide. So, alright, this is all I have for you. And there's other beings of a different caliber to go into details. We have laid the foundation for others to bring a different perspective. Blessings. Greetings. We are from the 100,000th dimension. We are the people. Collective people of where the human came from. An energy source that wanted to be free, that not wanted to walk on all fours. As humorous as that is, there had to be an evolution, because much of your aliens that start on 4 legs, but they're highly evolved, and yes, they can walk on 2 legs over time. This might think it's funny, but it's actually true. They evolved from walking on 4 legs. They just found, there's other alien beings involved, so called insectoids, to help your mammals evolve into more of a human type of being. Of course, you did have your gorilla people also, which made it much easier. It was a lot. It had to do with travel. You can get a lot done. Realize many of the worlds that were created were very primitive of their time of alien energies. You had your monsters, you had your canines, you had your felines, and you had your jungles, things like that. Depends on the world you're on. There wasn't really a reason to have, a human. But as you evolve, when you run, it's like there's more we can do. And then you begin to evolve into more of the human form. Realize it's not as easy as it sounds. It's a long process. But also the human's been developed in other realities. This is not something new. But they allow it to come into their reality, which changes your universe. Yes, you already have robotic type of humanoid beings already. Some of them actually were the Greys. A lot of them were robotic at one time. Of course, yes, they're connected. Insectoids are connected to various different beings. But there are already humanoid universes. This is not the first one, or the last one for that matter. It's just that what you can learn here through experiences of having hands, having just this experience of, be able to go to other places easier as a humanoid being. But basically, you're just a bunch of dogs and cats roaming around everywhere. But they're big. And highly evolved, yes. But they just evolved from that. Realize the spirit world can allow whatever they need to. Now, the reptilian energies, now there's some have had it good, some have had it bad. Not all of them have had it bad. It's just ones that had it good, and they didn't tell everybody about it. They had no need to. But the ones that had it bad obviously had a chip on their shoulder, and which would quite understand why. And some of them are just not willing to get over it, their hardships that they grew out of, but also realize how much They weren't, but they were also helped in their technology influences. They feel like they evolved by themselves. Think again. Everybody has assistance from somewhere. You're having assistance now through a channeled energy. You have assistance through doctors, things like that. There's always somebody there to help. Help you evolve into a new direction. Now, where you take that is up to you. Now, if you want to take that and go take over the universe, then so be it. Yet the parents would show up to sign the check to pay for all the damage. And on your planet, there's much of that happening right now. Well, it's like, how much can you beat this world up, too? That was another thing. How much chaos can you bring to a world? You brought quite a bit, as you can see. And many want to bring in more, as you can see. But most of humanity just put a stop to the majority of it. Because you've had enough. What is happening now is not that important. But where you are heading, what you're opening up, basically, yes, the soul is opening up more. It's becoming more of what it truly is. It's a gradual point. Now, some will reject it and leave the earth. It's like, I'm not going through that. But this fourth dimensional energy is going to find everybody that wishes to experience it. Even those that don't want it are going to feel it. They're going to know something. Their psychic senses will evolve. Maybe not at a heightened level, but they'll know something. And just everyone's getting activated slowly. And it's up to you what you do with it. If you want to leave the world and not experience any of this, no one's stopping you. But basically, the timeline of this earth is coming to an end of its old ways. You're bringing in, yes, space. Much more than that, other planets. Basically, your neighbors that have been talking to you. Some of your neighbor planets are spirit guides. Also, Pluto, Mars, Jupiter. A Mercury guide for that matter. Mercury had to be moved. Mercury was much larger in another place in your solar system, but moved so you can bring energies from the sun closer to your Earth. And besides that, someone had to be closer to your sun. And Venus brings a wider energy. Mercury brings a lot of technology energies and just old vibrations from its old history. Kind of keep you aligned from you. Yeah, because some beings can be brought here to really set your planet off. It is always possible to just put your world into complete chaos. As some of you probably experience those timelines that have not occurred, but you can feel it coming in or trying to come in. But yeah, Mercury kicks a lot of that off to other versions of Earth or other planets that can handle it or need it or just dissolve it all together. There's many planet beings or planets that try to hijack this world. And you can feel it. It's always going on. Where else can you take it? Yes, it's like a frat house. How much more can I destroy it? How many walls can I break through? It's the same thing. Yes. But that's part of the warning process. But humanity because you have managers of the planet, of course. Not just humanity's energy, is much more to it than that. To keep things together. It's like the world... Yes, the ocean is polluted enough. Yes, don't drink the water, but you're basically connected. You're basically building yourself up to an energy source, as many of you already know. That's why your astral is coming in through stronger, so you can connect more, yes, to your higher self, but also just solve problems here. Because you're eventually going to see the higher dimensional Earth just coming right through. Without a problem. You just see it. You just feel it, see it, and push out what is no longer needed. Because the Earth had its course, as you can see. So, only way for it to evolve is to let many go. Now, these people aren't going to. No one ever dies. Everybody stays alive forever. I don't care what anybody says. If you think you're dead, you find a way to come back. Even though they say, oh, destroyed that soul, trust me, they'll find a way back. If they truly want, no one's ever gone. gods have been defeated, and they come back. They might come back a little bit wounded. They might come back as a Jesus, but they do come back. To give you a little hint there. So, well, you can say, as we're here, yes, Jesus is a godlike being that's lost his wings, you can say. And so he brought his energy here. Of course, he's still dealing with a lot of himself. Of course, some people might disagree with that. Or Jesus himself might disagree with that. The truth hurts a little bit sometimes. To regain his power. To assist others, as many of you are doing. To regain. Because you notice there's a lot of darkness here. A lot of it is religion connected, yes. Even Buddha has his own darkness people are dealing with. And Muhammad, of course, too. Muhammad, other people put their own darkness on Muhammad's energy. Not so much Muhammad, actually. But basically here to steer the earth into a new direction. And it's been stopped. Many of those are Atlantean beings, yes. Reincarnated. But Atlantean energies, incarnate as an Atlantean being, just connecting to the energies of the earth. It's like you get an idea of what this world's about. Then you incarnate as a human to take it to forget and take yourself to. So there is an Atlantean reality still going on. Some will call it your spirit world. It never really left. So, blessings to you.